the issues that come up that end up having somebody move into a home or a care facility is it's happening over time, like you said. So the home deteriorates too. Not only is there stuff, but there's usually the home isn't taken care of. The roof is going bad. It needs paint. There's issues with all kinds of maybe yard maintenance and all kinds of other things that go on as well. So it ends up being a home that needs you. I've seen personally. I don't use your strategy. I'm going to have to now, but I've seen personally. Homes in those in those same scenarios that really do need a tremendous amount of work. I mean, the deferred maintenance is huge. So, so I agree. I mean, that definitely is an avenue that needs to be explored in the different markets. So what are some of the issues that you deal with there? I mean, when you talk about helping them, obviously you're solving a problem, which I want to make sure everybody's hearing that. You found a niche where you can solve a problem, you're solving a problem. You talked about stuff and helping them with the stuff. Like, what do you usually do? Is that one of those situations where you help with an estate sale? You just say, leave it here, or is it kind of all of the above? Like, what does it usually run into when it comes to dispersing of the stuff?
It's all of the above. And I have somebody for treasures down to trash, right? And so some people have what I would call an estate, and some people have a glorified garage sale. And then some people are just, I like to call hoarders aggressive collectors. Right. And, you're dealing with a problem there. And so my job, I think, as a real estate investor is to alleviate their problems. And the stuff is a problem a lot of times. And so I just have trusted vendors that I work with. I always like to say, I'm not in the stuff business. I'm in the real estate business. But my job is in fact, I like to turn their stuff into cash. I work with one guy named Randy, worked with him for 20 years now. He does new construction. So like when you tear down an old house, like he'll come down and salvage every part, the windows, the doorknobs, everything. And so he does he's kind of like a picker, like the American Pickers guys. He's kind of like that. And he's been a phenomenal source because I just turn him over to Randy. I don't make a dollar from it. But for me, because what you said, I say, hey, turn everything you can into cash with Randy or whoever, turn it all into cash. And then whatever's left over, you leave and I'll take. That line right there has gotten me. I've gotten hugs from guys before. They're like, you mean I don't have to come back to my mother-in-law's house ever again? And they're like, come here, give me a hug, because it's not even, it's not their stuff. And I think by the third weekend of 40-yard dumpsters being in the driveway and going up those narrow stairs and taking the tax records from 1973 that grandma kept, you know what I mean? Like at some point they just go, can this finally freaking be over? You know what I mean? Can this be over soon? And so you are selling life vests to drowning people, right? They want your service. And by the way, when mom's moving into senior, and I say mom, and the reason why it's mom is that, we're guys that we die first, right? Yeah. And you hit on it before that there's been some deferred maintenance. And it's usually because dad died 8 years ago and mom's been on a fixed income. And you know what? Here's what they always say. Mom's doing the best she can. And guess what? She is doing the best she can, and good for her that she could hold on that long. Right. But mom is usually not as on the maintenance, or she has less, there's 100 reasons why, right? And so, yes, there's deferred maintenance. Yes, the family needs to clean out the stuff, and they don't want to do the rehab, right? And I think our magic is because when you do rehab to scale, especially a guy like you, as many as rehabs as you said you do, your cost to do that rehab versus them going down to Home Depot and trying to figure it out, that's almost where our profit lies, is in that difference between your scale and their kind of that same problem we talked about with new construction. You don't matter if you're just a one-off retail buyer. Right. You're going to get killed on that. And how do you matter? We were talking earlier about being in the business. Imagine not being in the business and trying to make it work.
Right.
And one of my main questions is what color kitchen would you put in here? And they look at me funny like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, your other option is to rehab it. So what color kitchen would you put? They're like, I don't know. And I go, please don't rehab this house, right? Because if you don't know what you're building it for the market, what the market will bear today, you could waste a ton of money and time. And that's the thing. I think with anything in life, it's timing and saving time. And if you can be a reasonable, trusted source, I'm going to stress that word. What I do is not for the newbie guy. What I do is not for the shyster. It is not. If you're dealing with seniors and their families, I want reputable companies to do this, right? Because it really, these people really do matter to me. I haven't gone through it with my own parents yet, but since I've been dealing with this since 2011, I have seen the hardships that these families go through. And if you can be a piece that made an easy button, I'll say, for that. So if you're a solution for that problem, you just took a lot of burden and stress off of that family. And so I get to feel good about what I do. I get to buy great houses. And I think what's led me, we haven't really talked about this, what led me to this podcast is that I'm starting to have these national accounts with these type of leads. And I can't be the boots on the ground in Fresno. I can't be the boots on the ground in Minnesota. I need the me's in every city to go out and help me with these leads.